Hello, I'm here with Amma Marine to talk to you about gel coats and resins to try and help you understand the differences between the two. Now, this is a 101 course, it's not an advanced course. We're going to simplify everything so that way it's easy to understand if you're starting from scratch. So, are you trying to build a boat or build a seat or build a structure? Then you would use resin. Are you trying to repair a scratch, a nick, a crack? You would use gel coat. What's the difference? Well, gel coat is that egg finish at the end of the boat. It's very thin and it's very hard and it's quite nice. That's what that egg shell finish looks like, and it could be white and it could be all different colors. That's the finishing, and so that would be gel coat. Resin is what you use to repair a broken boat that actually is perforated, or if you're trying to strengthen a structure, strengthen a beam, create yourself a seat, and mold products together. So if you're trying to attach two walls together and you need strength, this is where you would use resin. So resin and fiberglass, actually I'm saying resin, but you're going to be using fiberglass. A fiberglass boat is essentially built out of sheets of these, and there are different types. You have different types of braids depending on how strong you need it, how thick you need it. So this is one of the most popular, and you've got different grades that we offer. So you have some that kind of rip apart and they're just used for fillers. You have some that have some strength so they don't pull apart and they give greater resistance for stress, and so on and so forth, right up to carbon fiber and exotic types. So these are what you do the mold with. The resin is what you would coat it with to harden so that it doesn't remain soft like this. It's actually quite soft. So once you apply the resin, you roll it on or you paint it on, it will harden with hardeners and it will become very strong. And so that's resin. And of course, now within resin, there's different types of resin. And just to make it simple, I've given you two basic constructs: polyester resin and epoxy resin. Now, polyester resin is more popular because it's easy to work with. It's got one type of hardener. It actually comes with it, and it looks like a peroxide bottle, which is a very small amount, and you would normally buy it as a kit where the whole kit fits with the whole bottle. So if you're using half the gallon, it's going to use up half the little bottle, and so on and so forth. You use a quarter, and that's how you do your mix. It has more smell while it's curing, and it's much more cost effective. So by volume, we usually sell a lot more polyester resin. Epoxy resin is more expensive, and you have more strength and malleability, especially when it comes to under stress structures. Under stress structures, as an example, would be a transom. So if you've got a bass boat that you're redoing the transom because it's rotted, and you're planning on putting a 200 horsepower on a 16-foot bass boat, that's a lot of stress on the back of the boat. So you'd be better off using an epoxy-based resin because it can structurally withstand the stress of the horsepower and the propeller pushing that boat forward. And so polyester resin is more expensive, and you have more flexibilities with the hardeners. You have fast hardener, medium hardeners, and slow hardeners. So you can come and play with that. So we offer both, and we're definitely there to help you with any questions you might have. Now, I've shown you gallons, but of course you have smaller containers that are available, and even repair kits that include both the fiberglass and the resin you might need. Now let's go towards gel coat. Gel coat is that egg finish. I use that eggshell finish because I find it's a good comparison. And so when you nick a rock, it's like it shattered the shell of a hard-boiled egg. It's that same kind of effect. And so gel coat is used to repair those nicks. So if you've done a surface scratch or a surface perforation, or you're trying to block a little hole, or spider webs that have, not spider webs, but a spider crack, you would use gel coat. You wouldn't use resin. Resin is what's behind it to build the structure. So the gel coats, they work a little bit differently. So gel coats come in liquid form so that they can be painted on easily. And they also come in paste form, which is an advantage if you don't want something, if you're trying to fill a certain scratch and you don't want it to start to drip, the gel coat paste is actually a better option for you. We offer them both. Now, liquid and paste, they come in transparent, either or. But they also come in base color white. So you can either pick to start your base color with a transparent and then add pigment color, or you can start with a base of white. So if your hull is white, simple. You just get the white kit, you choose liquid or paste, and you apply where it needs to be. Now, along those lines, you don't want to try and fill a hole really deep, because it does cure with oxygen. So if you don't try and stuff the gel coat all the way in and finish it in one coat, try and use multiple coats so it dries, you put another coat, dries, so that way if ever you push on it, the outer shell would be hard, but the inner shell would never really cure properly. So that's a little bit of a tip. So try and do it in patient multiple coats, and you can compound or wet sand between each. Now, back to the base colors. So base colors, as I said, they're in transparent or white, and you can get pigments, which is like cake coloring. So it's actual pigment. So this is not gel coat, it's actual pigment. And just if I open that bottle, the paste in there is not gel coat, it's actual true pigment. And so just like cake coloring, it's very concentrated. So again, on a tip, you would get the base colors that you need, make your mix. So if you buy a kit, as an example, this is a small little paste kit that comes with all the primary colors, and it comes with transparent gel coat paste. And in there it has a little booklet that tells you, oh, if you have off-white color, use this base and then add this base color. If you've got a aqua, use this base, let's say blue as a base, and add a touch of green. And so it's a very unscientific approach. So you would get yourself, as an example, a piece of cardboard, a larger piece, and then you would add pigment until you get that mix just right. Now, a suggestion is, if you're going to be doing multiple coats, that pigment on a cardboard, if you're doing one coat per day, will not harden on your piece of cardboard. So I suggest do the color mix once, get that color perfect, and then separate it in the expected amount of coats that you're going to do. So if you plan on doing 3 coats, separate that pigment 3 times. You won't have to remix the color and risk getting different colors combination each time. Separate them, and then when you're ready for the first coat, you have a separated color, and then you can apply your gel coat in, mix it up so that the color is just well mixed into your gel coat, and then finally apply your hardener, and then you have a certain amount of time before it starts becoming too tacky to work with. So that coat is done. Now the next day you still have 2 more because you've planned for 3, you have pigment ready to go, and you can reapply. And that way it all blends really nice between one coat and the next. So gel coat comes in, as I said, white, liquid or paste, and transparent, liquid or paste. And of course they come with all different sizes. You can get them in small quantities, and you can get them in pints. You can even get them in gallon. Resin's the same thing. You can get them in different quantities for what you need. And you can either get a kit that's pre-made with all the colors, or you can buy a base kit and then buy these pigments as you need them. So if you plan on just doing black, you can buy a kit that's already black, or you could get a transparent one, add the black. So I hope that helps. Along the line, since we're here, I've got a number of different products that you can option out with what you're doing. So acetone dilutes and removes fiberglasses and resins. So acetone would be used to wipe away something that you need removed. So we've got a number of different variants that you can use. And we also have here all sorts of different glues that you can use to tack on non-resin related, but spray aerosol glues if you're trying to bond some pieces together. So these are marine glues. So we've got that. We've got all of the different replacement hardeners that are available. We also have different fiberglass that I've talked to you about. We've got different sizes and different types, like the matte, the one I was telling you that was ripping apart easy, or the higher structural, like this one here you've seen. We also have expansion foam. Now expansion foam creates, like urethane, it takes on volume and it helps to float. So if you're trying to fill a seat in a boat and you want it to help buoyancy, well, that's expansion foam. So these are all different chemicals that we offer, and we're definitely here to help if you've got any questions. So hopefully that helps and that clarifies it, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.